welcome back to Otlichno SMP, Season 10. We are doing stuff in the Nether today. But before we can do that thing that we're going to do, we need the required materials. And those materials are ice. Somewhere out in this general direction, we will find some ice. So that's where I'm heading. Going by a boat this time. There it is. Very close. Perfect. This general direction. Very good. Here we have plenty of ice. We're going to try to not take it in a weird looking way. Just enough. Also goes below the surface, so that's a whole another thing to be considering. But we will park here and get out. We head underwater here. You can see these are very large. Also, the floor is made of gravel. What we're looking for is ice. That's just all over the place here. It's like a little ice cave. Very cool. We've brought the Silk Touch pickaxe, now with mending. Also the sword has mending. Because we're going to need as much of this as we can get. Right here, we have ice. And here we have packed ice. Packed ice is going to be the winner. The winning combination. Because packed ice doesn't melt if you have like a torch next to it or something. So this is going to jump up this iceberg and kind of start taking it. Oh, it's so quick. Packed ice. This is why we needed the pickaxe to be mending. Because we were just going to blitz through pickaxe durability here. I want to make an ice path for fast boats between my 3 nether portals. So, all the way from spawn to the boat over here and out to the far. To accomplish that, we need something in the range of 1200 ice. Which seems fairly reasonable, all things considered. Especially at this speed. Should probably figure out how many stacks 1200 is. We're already doing very well here. Each of these is 64. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 stacks here. 18 stacks. We have the technology. Let us actually calculate this. 1200 divided by 64. 18 and a quarter. So, 2 full rows and then a bit. My goodness. But honestly, we're already almost halfway done, so that's not really actually too bad at all. What efficiency you? 4. Good enough for instantly smashing. So, here we go. And if we end up with a few extra ice blocks, that's fine too. We can just make more ice boat paths to other locations. Pickaxe is holding up very well, mostly because of the unbreaking. And the sun is setting on our ice capades. That's okay. We'll be done here soon enough. So I'm not too worried about it. You always underestimate volume in Minecraft. Where you think, oh, I got 64 blocks, that's a lot. It's really not. It's really, really not. If you're building something 2D, you can get a little bit going. Once you get into 3D, big old piles of stuff, it's a lot. And there is just tons of ice out here. So us grabbing the top of this glacier, or iceberg, perfectly acceptable. Alright. There's an ice under the water here. I'll take that. And we do technically also have the option of turning this all into blue ice, which is even faster than regular ice, but also 9 times as expensive. So that's a bit much. I think it'll be just fine with a regular old packed ice. There's a chicken. What are you doing out here, chicken? Just in the middle of the ocean. You do you. You do you. We can kind of see where the boat is, because all the kelp is max height from being nearby. That's pretty wild. Trying to keep this contained is an unwinnable battle. Kind of does make the areas nearby look pretty weird, but that's okay. Alright. So now, the next step. I'm going to leave this boat here. This is my boat from the boat. And we'll hop into the Nether. Where we need to put down the packed ice. I guess we'd probably be better off putting the ice in the chest over here. Temporary storage and whatnot. We got all this dense cobblestone. Or cobblestone deep slate even. It's the actual name for it. Which would bring back. Honestly, after this is going to be the best time to bring this back. Since it's going to be super fast. Take it over here. But these are not the only things that we're going to be storing in massive quantities in chests here. If we want to have an ice boat path, we need more space in the tunnels. A 1x2 will not do. It needs to be 2x3. We're going to insert the ice into the floor so the path stays at the same level as everything else. So what that means is digging out an L shape all the way from here back to spawn, and then also just a hole here, and then also from here to the far. I suppose I would grab the nether quartz while I'm here too. I can take some of that. Oh, more. Also mine the nether quartz is going to give us experience that's going to repair the pickaxe, which is also nice. One thing that we're going to want to be cautious of is obviously lava coming through anywhere. We should probably grab a fire resistance potion, honestly. Yeah, we're probably fine. And then what side do we want this on? I want on this side. Just because of where the sign already is. Another thing to consider is if there's the places where there's air below, where we've made bridges and such. We're going to end up needing to probably reinforce the floor there, so there's not just ice sticking out into the nether. Packed ice is probably not the most blast resistant of blocks. Although, to be fair, netherrack isn't either. So we might want to snag ourselves some cobblestone when we get back to base here. There's that lava. Yeah, also, we ended up with about 2 rows of ice for this adventure. And since we are digging out twice as much netherrack here, we're basically going to have an inventory full of netherrack by the time this is done. Do we need an inventory of netherrack? Not particularly. Yeah, decent waste block, I suppose. We can fill stuff in. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna want the whole tunnel here to be uniform. Other than just netherrack will be fine. Another thing to consider is gonna be like fence gates or something. So I can stop the boats in locations where you would want them to be stopped. Do we want to put some cobblestone under here? We do cobblestone in the below sections. And then a layer of netherrack. That'll be good enough. Probably. It's very unlikely that a gas is just going to shoot and hit the tunnel. As hilarious as that might be. Just falling out of the tunnel because there's a hole in it now. It'll probably be fine. Especially since we have the whole keeping stuff on death for 30 minutes. Easy enough to get your stuff back. So it's not a huge worry. Here's the sign. So we'll go right about here. That should be good. Might also want, like, a boat storage or something. That's another thing we can do. Don't exactly have enough oak planks from this direction. Oh, we got some holes in the floor. That's not what you want. Don't know how we managed to miss that. That was dangerous. Make everything here perfectly uniform. Netherrack. Yeah, the floor holes are going to be the main situation we have to deal with. Should be fine. As long as we walk down the path that was already here, we will know that there is floor to stand on, at least. That's the theory, at any rate. And then from here... I want to go this way. We're gonna keep going this way until we run out of space in the inventory. Which is not gonna be helped with gold nuggets here. It's gonna help with the durability though, so I guess I'll take it. I guess we're actually not standing on the floor since we're digging down lower. That's probably fine. As we're at least slightly careful here. In theory. Not that gold nuggets are really that expensive or worthwhile. So I don't really need to worry too much about it. Haven't had any lava falling on us yet, which I guess is nice. We got all those gold nuggets really did take up a lot of space. But we got chests over here. That's fine. We can work with that. Yeah, it's a little bit close to the portal there. Another rack. Other things. See, I want. We'd have to dig out even more if we moved the tunnels anyway to the side. So this will just be fine. With the way it is angled, we won't be able to probably get the boat in anyway, so it's okay. There's also the Nether fortress this direction. So we probably want a wary to go that way too. Would be an idea. Or at least like a area where we would stop at the Nether fortress. Probably just get some nether bricks and make the tunnel more noticeable that you're at the Nether fortress right here. Because this is where it is. Nether fortress. Over that way. I'll have to see how far that is. Might want a ice boat path that way too. Here's one of the main bridges. Yeah, situation. Yeah, look at this. Now what you want. Now what you want. Dangerous. Dangerous stuff. We're gonna do cobblestone down another level, then another rack. Yeah. Keep things consistent here at least. Also, there is a ghast nearby, so that is also not what I want. I think I'll just reinforce the floor here. Technically, we could do a whole envelope around of cobblestone. Make things a bit safer. But if the gas can't see you, it really should not shoot over this way. So that'll probably be fine. Worst case scenario, hilarious death. But we do want to fully encase it, since we're going to be zipping through here on a fast boat. We don't want to accidentally fling ourselves off or anything crazy. Also, for consistency's sake. Nether quartz. Always be careful not to dig underneath yourself. Pro tips. Making this tunnel is going to use up some of this netherrack. So that's also good. At least one use for it, I suppose. Not there. And that's the way to the other side. Okay. Then we have a few more spots here where we need to worry about the floor. Pretty much whenever there's cobblestone on the ground here, that's a decent indication that we've got a whole thing to deal with. Also not there. Oh, hello, aghast. What this calls for? A bow. Yeah, they're too far away. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Let's just get this exposed area taken care of quickly here. Close it all in. And then we don't need to worry about it. Nice nether sounds. Very good. Very cool. We could also add, like, windows right here if we were feeling very fancy. So you get look at the ghasts or whatever. I don't think that's too necessary either. I think we'll be just fine as it is. And there is the ladder. So we are almost done mining out here. Not there. Technically, the far is a little bit to the side. Well, that's a short enough path that you wouldn't want to turn the ice boat, so this'll work. This'll work. A bunch of nether quartz. Looks good. The packed ice currently has like a max speed of 40 meters per second. And the blue ice, which is the 9 times more expensive one, is like almost twice as much. So we could really speed things up here if we wanted, but I think this will be fine. Okay. This is here. Good. Get the silk touch pick back out since we're going to be dealing with the ice now. If we misplace it anywhere, we would want to have the option to pick it up easily. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, no longer will we have to worry about running down these massive tunnels, needing food for our hunger, taking all this time. Can be much, much quicker. The fact that putting ice in the Nether is a thing that you, one, can, and two, really want to do. It's pretty wild. Just works very nicely. All that packed ice. All that packed ice. And back in we go. Okay. Packed ice is not transparent, so we really do not need to worry about consistency on the bottom layers here. That's okay. And if we go away from this portal, we can ice boat back more quickly. It's also fun. A bit slower to place the 1,000+ blocks than it was to mine it, unfortunately. Trying to just hold it down. That's not bad. We can middle click. A skeleton. You're from the Nether Fortress? Get out of here. Messing up my rhythm. Rude. Oh, that's much better. We could probably also just do one row at a time. This is working all right. Unless we don't get too far away and then we just put up the shield. Part of the problem with having multiple things on the same keybind, basically. That's okay. We can always just take off the shield if we really cared that much. If we're too close, we also can put it on top, which is not ideal. That's okay. That should be fine. So now we can put down a boat if we had brought one. We can save the ice boat speediness for last year. And also just kind of sprint and jump, and that's also pretty quick. Faster than normal. Also uses more hunger than normal, so pros and cons. Also, there can be enemies in here. I have to think about that. The basics of the ice path is under control here. Maybe he spawned on the netherrack and walked over. Hopefully. What you do not want is things standing in the way. And Unfortunately, we have a few more corners here than be strictly necessary. Ultimately, you might want, like, a central hub of ice going off in each cardinal direction. Maybe shorter ones off in the other ways. But then you might just spam straight past where you're trying to go, which also wouldn't be ideal. That's going to be one of the problems with the Nether Fortress. We're going to make it noticeable, though, so it'll be fine. Just move an entire glacier into the Nether. Wild. And all this for ease of transportation. Very silly. Very cool. And not just because it's ice. Probably a bit less annoying if we just did one side at a time. Not having to jiggle back and forth here constantly. Yeah, there's the portal. We're almost done. Missing blocks for days now. Not quite that far. Alright. And we got these many blocks left at the end. Perfect. Well, let us make a boat, shall we? And now, to get from spawn over to our locations. You can't run from me. I'm too fast. Oh, turning is not the best. All right, we're here at the ship. And here's the Nether Fortress. And here's the far. Really is just that easy. Yeah, stopping at the Nether Fortress is going to be a problem. Also, turning's not great. And just press shift. That'll work. Oh, we're so slidey. It's so slidey. This is a bit of a run. I don't know if it's long enough to warrant an ice path, though. And then that would just mean a fork in the road for the ice path, and as we've seen, turning is really not the forte of ice boats. So I'm just gonna grab some bricks here. And that would be good. This hole up here is where we grab some bricks. I don't know how many I really need. Let's start grabbing. Just enough to make it noticeable that, yes, this is where the Nether Fortress is. Hello, Wither Skeleton. Thanks for dropping by. In the most literal of senses. That should probably be enough. Wither skeletons keep falling on my head. Much slower than some of the other blocks we've been gathering. That's okay. And I guess the bricks are going to be enough distinction from the netherrack. We could also put some torches up. That'd look better. Be more noticeable and all that. That'll work. Yeah, just straight shots would be the best way to do this. I don't know if I really can be bothered digging out all the extra tunnels that would be required to make this entire situation straight shots in all the directions. There's the tunnel. We got 60. One, two, three, four, five, six. That'll work. Too fast in all the ways. That's fine. This pickaxe, though, my goodness. We probably want to have this here also. So we have the far Nether fortress. That thing slide away from me. My goodness. Here. Do not look at exactly what this looked like. This will be fine. The far. Another fortress. Doesn't matter. It's fortress, I'll say. Let me actually check specifically. There's not exactly a spell check in the signs. If we look at advancements, if we find into the Nether, there's a terrible fortress. 2 S's. Technology. Another fortress. Still that direction. That's fine. That's pretty noticeable. It's just the stopping that's difficult. Down to the far. Very easy. I guess it's going to be just more of a skill with boats issue. You just whack yourself into the ceiling to stop. That's good enough. So we can grab a whole bunch of stuff from the ship. And bring it back to spawn. Just like that. I think I'll put in some chests at each of the locations with handful of extra boats, but besides that, I'm gonna call that a win. It's now super quick. Unfortunately, shift is part of my end recording, so I can't exactly be zooming back on a boat and end record at the same time. We can do this though. F5. Super speed. Turn around. Alright. Very fun. So now we have better transportation in the Nether. I think I want to spruce up the hub a little bit. Decorating in the Nether. Next time. Goodbye.